Oh, XT, actually. You're killing me, man. Let's talk about this nasty thing. Oh, we're on. Okay. I'm just looking at this ugly, nasty chart. This is Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro, and we're going to talk about OXT today, and I'm going to share with you what I did wrong. I made a mistake. You don't want to repeat this mistake. I bought in at the wrong time because I misinterpreted a formation that I should have known better. So anyway, let's just zoom in and look at this thing on the look at the overall. I mean, zoom out, look at the overall, and then I'll show you the mistake that I made and how you can avoid it, and then what I think is going to happen in the future for OXT, what the bottom could be, and what the future looks like. All right, let's get rid of that. And we are going to look at the 1 day first of all. Let's just blow this up here to make it nice and simple, and I'll show you the mistake that I made. Okay, so the mistake I made was buying in too early because I missed out on the big, humongous, obnoxious pump here. And the rule is you should never buy into a project after a pump like this. I had been watching OXT all along and thinking I need to buy into this, and then the pump happened before I bought. And I was very upset and kicking myself. So I thought, well, I'll just watch this thing, and as it corrects and comes down, I'll wait for my right time, and I'm going to jump in and hit the next level. So this is where I bought, was right here at about 45 cents. I think it was either here or here, somewhere in there. But at any rate, let me show you what the formation was looking like that fooled me. I thought I was looking at a triangle like this, and this is why I bought in, because I thought this was a bull flag and it was going to break out to the upside. So I was correct that it broke out. I thought it was going to go this way, and actually it went this way. So then I actually thought, well, maybe I just didn't time it right. I just should have given it a little bit more time. So I thought, okay, well, I just misinterpreted this. Let's just gather ourselves. This is what the formation is supposed to look like right here. That's it. Yeah. That's the ticket. It's just a bigger flag. That's all. So once again, I thought it was going to break out here, but fortunately, I did not buy any more. And had I done that, I would have been kicking myself again because it broke out to the bottom side for the second time. So the mistake that I made was this. Number one, never buy into a project after a major pump. And number two, this is a descending triangle formation. Those almost always break out to the negative side. Okay, let me show you what it would have looked like if I was thinking correctly. This is what it would have done if it would have broken to the upside. Let me just draw on you. Let me draw. Let me draw on the chart for you. Instead of this descending triangle, if the price would have gone up here and then we started doing something like this, bouncing around and consolidating here, this would have made an ascending triangle. See that? And these almost always break to the top side, not to the bottom side. Now that's not a guarantee. The other kind of triangle formation that we get is when they do this and we end up where it's equal on both sides. So after we bounce around like this, we end up with a top part of the triangle going this way and the bottom part this way, where it's symmetrical. Now the funny thing is, on a symmetrical, it can break to the downside and it can also break to the upside, and you have to look at the other indicators to find out which way it's going to go. All right, so let's clear all of that and let's zoom into the 4 hours so we can talk about where it's going from here now that you see the mistake that I made. All right, so we had this other little pump here that I got excited about and should not have. Anytime you see like a big candle and then there's a huge long wick, then we have another big candle that has a huge wick above it, That's manipulation, probably by the exchanges, where they were liquidating the people who entered a short position, thinking after this pump that the price was going to go down, which they were probably right. But what happened was they pumped the price up after shorts were probably taken right around here, and then they slam it back down after they've liquidated the majority of the people who entered short positions right at this point. You know, after the close of this 4-hour green candle and coming into this red one. So at the red, when it goes way up high and comes back down, that's a shakeout. Okay, so anyway, enough of that. We have this descending line. Let's look over here and see what has happened with price with this descending line that is a resistance and with this blue line that is a base. Now, we have found support at this base several times. Here it touched and it held. It kind of came close here and it held. It touched, poked through here, but it held and it held there. Now that's kind of scary because the next time that it touches this baseline, there's a chance it could bomb. It could go straight down because what is normally previous support can flip into resistance. So in other words, when you go knocking on that door enough times, that door is going to open and it's going to fall through. Here's the other thing that I'm seeing. We have a resistance up above. So every time that we have come close to this orange line ever since this miniature peak on that time frame, we get knocked back down. So we had a green candle and then followed quickly by a red candle. And now we've got this little slice of a red doji. And the stochastic is moving up. But why is the stochastic moving up while the price is not doing anything? That looks like a divergence. So whenever you see something like this where the stochastic is making a clear move, looking like things are getting better, but the price is doing this and moving down, that's a divergence. And then the poor little on-balance volume is just chilling out down here, staying like a flat line. So that tells me there's a good chance that we're not going to hold that base. Let's zoom in a little bit more here, and I'll tell you about what is possible if we violate that base. So if we fall through this support, we're going to have to zoom way back here and find out where there's another possibility of a support. And we can find that right here. So if I were to, in fact, I need to draw a line. I need to add this on my trading view chart. Notice how it was resistance right here. And then it became support after this point. So we can carry that all the way forward to today, and I'll bet you money that this thing is going to be an action line again for us as a support if we bomb through this support here up above at the 26 cents level. So we have to hold 26. If we don't hold 26, goodbye. Now, what's the worst case scenario possibility? Well, we could go back down to this previous support at 17.56 cents because you see that that's the point of control. When you consider this whole pump and the previous price, the previous pie says that the point of control is at 17.6. That would be a full retrace. I don't see that as likely. Why? Because of the unbalanced volume. We see that we had the major pump here, and then we had a little bit of a correction after the dump, and a little bit of movement down here and a slight bit here. But overall, look at this. Look at this unbalanced volume. You know, we were here, we leveled down just a tad, and we're pretty much at the same level right here. So as long as we are hanging out where we're way above this previous level, it looks to me that the large institutional buyers are propping this thing up. They're still in the project. Now, if this OBV was taking a dive downward, and we know that this is just an approximation and it's not exact, we know that if this is supported and not bombing down, that there's some big hands who don't want to see the price fall too much below where it is right now, or even if they drop it down to the 20 cents level, they still have a lot of hands in the pockets of OXT. So that is my prediction on price. Let's just put this arrow here. We either hold strong at 26 cents. If we violate that, we'll probably head back down here to 20 cents. Now, what I'm going to have to do, if that does happen, I'm going to have to do the old DCA game. What does that stand for? Dollar cost average. Because I bought in at 45 cents. The least I can do is get a double bag of this at 20 cents. If it goes that low, that's doable. And then that will pull my overall average. If I could get my overall purchase average of all of the coins that I've purchased for OXT, if I could get that down around, say, 30 to 35, I'm a happy camper. All right, so that's about all I've got on OXT. What do you think is going to happen to this price? Do you think that we're going to correct down to 20 cents, or are we going to hold strong at 26? What are your thoughts about this project? I'm impressed with it. Are you impressed with it? I think it's going to be around for a while, and I think that once the real bull run hits with Bitcoin, we're going to blow beyond this previous little high here from the pump. We hit $1. So if we hit $1 before, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to make that look like small potatoes. This is going to do, wait a minute, let's make it green. We're going to do something like this, and then we're going to hit some major high levels off of this chart. I mean, it's possible that this thing could be in the $5, $6, $7 range the next time it makes a major move. Best case scenario, maybe 10 bucks, but we'll have to see how far this next positive movement is, the next bullish movement, not the all-out bull run. I think the all-out all-time peak is going to be next fall, but we are going to get some nice action in November and December. All right, so I'd like to hear your thoughts about this. Please like and subscribe and tell your friends. I'm trying to build the count here. I've only got about 150 subscribers. I need 1,000 so I can use the YouTube stories feature. If you know about YouTube stories, when you're scrolling through and you get these little stories here, I'm willing to do 10-second updates, price updates, and give you critical news on the fly on a daily basis. But I have to have 1,000 subscribers so I can unlock that feature on YouTube. So if you want me to do that, I'm willing to do it, but you got to help me spread the word. So that's about all I got. Let me remind you that none of this is financial advice. I'm just playing with this market, calling it like I see it, and having fun with it. So we'll see you next time. This is Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro. I'm out.